Hi ladies and gentlemen, Inkee was very nice to send me a gimbal to review. In no way or form have they seen this video or have paid me or endorsed. This video is all about the gimbal and I'm going to show you what it's about. I'm going to get a nice close-up shot, and what we're going to do is go over the gimbal and try to set it up the best we can and share the fun with you. This review wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Inkee. So let's thank Inkee for sending out the gimbal. Let's get right to the review. GoPro, DJI, Insta, or any camera does not make a difference. Inkee and Insta are talking. They're going to try to set up some features with the gimbal. Inkee uses an application. The application can be ran through your iOS as well as your Droid, Google Play. Some of the features and functions are not available today. In the future, they will be. The instructions are very clear and simple and to the point. There are many different languages. Basically, these are the 2 pages you need to know about. I already set mine up and I put it back in the box. And the one downside is you're going to have to close everything up in order to fit in the box. It does not fit in the box when you set the camera up with the media module. I just want to say this right now. This is the very easiest way to put on and off your GoPro. This now will be a little difficult to put your GoPro with the media mod on and off. You get 2 spare Allen key screws with Loctite blue temporary. You get a 3mm, 5mm Allen key. Please forgive me if I incorrectly said the sizes. You get the media module bolt, or the bolt that will attach permanently or temporarily on the gimbal. And you get the thumb bolt. You don't get a key or anything to adjust this. The media module accepts a 65mm or more thumb bolt, while a lot of these thumb bolts are 45mm and fall shy underneath the media module only. A Hero 8 media module may require a shorter thumb bolt as it's a smaller camera. A no-name bag that you could carry everything in and protect your investment. A tripod that opens up nice and wide and sits low, not just for a GoPro or the gimbal. The gimbal, 1/4 20 thread on the bottom. Notice that the gimbal will constantly spin around and around and around freely. Please lock it on nice and secure and tight. Don't leave it loose. All the hardware and everything you get with the gimbal was nicely explained. So what we're going to do is just go over some more detail of the actual gimbal before we start to calibrate, level it out with your GoPro. The joystick goes up, down, left, and right. It doesn't push in. It has a mode that will change everything. And if you double press it in after FPV, the FL, and then double press it again, you get that inception, whatever they call that turns around, spirals. You have the on and off. It's a long press. And if you want to apply the remote control, you press 6 to 8 times quickly. And if you want to do reverse charging on the off, you have to press this 5 times. It's very tricky to do reverse charging, and the camera will not charge while the gimbal is in the on state. The camera also cannot be charged via the gimbal with just the camera because the on and off USB is over here. With the media module, yes, you can do it via the reverse charging. With the Plus, notice that this is the way the locking mechanism for the thumb bolt goes on. It is not a 3-finger anymore. It is now a 2-finger. So please be very careful on how you put your GoPro on. Be very careful how you put any camera on. If you're going to be putting your GoPro or DJI, Insta, whatever camera you have on, and we're going to just specifically stick with GoPro for now, you want to balance your GoPro. But if you want to do the media module, you're going to have to rebalance your GoPro. And if you want to do the GoPro again, you're going to have to rebalance every single time you put a camera on. Grab the gimbal, level it, hold it like so, grab the 3mm bolt. What you're going to do is come over here. You're going to loosen this bolt up the best you can so this can slide back and forth freely. You're going to do the same thing to the side over here. You're going to loosen up the bolt. You want to make sure they stay tight because they will loosen up, and that's why you have blue Loctite. And this will slide up and down. It's all about the media module. So what we're going to do is put the media module on. Going to slide our media module for the Hero 10. Please take note how the media module now seats, that the thumb bolt will go this particular way. You're going to place on the fingers, place on the short bolt, lock it into place when it slides in. It is not easy for the first time, and whenever you go out and you want to change things, you're always going to have to carry this key with you. Please pull this out the furthest you can and lock it into place. Don't over tighten because you're going to have to adjust this back a little. You won't be able to adjust it forward because there is no room for margin. With the smaller key and the adjustments, you're going to bring this in, bring it out a little. You're going to raise up and raise down. You're going to lean forward. When all looks pretty good, what you're going to do is you're going to start to tighten these things up. With one advice, you don't have to be perfect. As long as you get it pretty near, you'll be fine. The gimbal is strong enough to readjust by itself. These keys carry with you. Never leave them home and don't lose them. You lose them, you're going to have an issue. You can always replace them. They are replaceable. The gimbal is all set up. All you need to do now is simply hold the button. The gimbal goes on, and you're all set to go. You take note of the very first light that's lit up. There are different types of commands. Please forgive me when I don't know the correct names for the commands at the given time. I forget because I have other gimbals as well. The first command is known as PF. And you notice that I am getting what I want out of it. The next command is known as HL. And I'm just moving as normal, as you can see what's happening to the gimbal. The next one known as FPV. So if you were on an airplane, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to repeat back to the first command. If you want to get to FL, remember what we said. You're going to get to the last one, double click in this fashion, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you're able to perception or whatever it's called. Do the spiral. To get out of it, single press. You're back to the norm. You like to go on a standby mode. 1, 2. You're on standby. You want to re-wake up the gimbal, press it once. It's a double press. 1, 2. It goes to standby. Single press to wake up. There is a switch on the front. If you press it once, it's going to lock on. Press it twice. It's going to lock on. Let's make sure we're on the correct mode. Once. Twice. 3 is going to give me a selfie. If I want to move the camera in a direction, clockwise, I want to change it, I go through the app. I want to go up. I want to go down. If I want to control the gimbal to take photos, I press the button. Time lapse, I press another button. Video, I press a button. In order to set the gimbal up, we'll show you the next step. Please don't let go of the gimbal. You're going to see it shake. You're going to open up the legs. They got rubber. It'll grip on the table so you can let go. We're going to center it. What we're going to do is turn our GoPro on. We're going to double press on the red button. So this is free, that I don't have to strain the motor. We're going to swipe down, swipe left, hit the connection. We're going to connect device, the remote. We're going to press this 6 to 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I press the center button, I'm recording video. If I press it again, my video stops. If I press the up button, I'm taking a photo. By pressing it again. If I press the bottom button, I'm in time lapse. I press it again. I'm doing a time lapse. If I press the on-off button and I don't press it quick enough or long enough, I'm not going to turn on the gimbal. The gimbal turns on. My camera will turn on. If I press the button, long press, the camera will shut off. The gimbal is off. We have a 3.5mm adapter, TRS cable. We can hook up our microphone if we have a mic. We get the correct one. We plug it in. We're no longer able to put this to the side. We need to use the top and lock it in. The cable should not get in the way. We're able to use our gimbal and go through the different modes and shoot shots. Before I unloosen anything, what I should do is take a white marker, mark down exactly where the media module goes on. And that is a smart thing to do. I have a pencil. If I don't want to show a white mark, I could put it on the bottom if I like. The reasoning behind me loosening this bolt up. I'm going to extend my gimbal. I'm going to place on, try my best to place in a microphone, and it will not fit. I can put this back on. Remember where I got it off at, and lock it into place. You take note, I'm a little top heavy because of the microphone. That doesn't mean I have to reposition my gimbal. I'm going to place my GoPro on, and I'm going to put on the thumb bolt. It's not that difficult to switch over. I make it nice and tight. All I got to do is just balance it to the back just a little bit. I'm a little leaning. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you miss an increment or not. But notice the gimbal, and just shift it a little. And there we go. We are good to go. What we're going to do now is show you the application and show you the setup. Here is the application. It knows the Bluetooth name. It knows everything. It remembers that this is hooked up. In here you have a joystick speed, slow, medium, and fast. You have a motor speed, slow, medium, and fast. You have a calibration at the horizon level is locked on, 66. If your horizon is off, this is where you adjust it. If you have an issue with the gimbal just not being, workable, you have static, you would press the static. The gimbal shuts off and resets up. And you notice the gimbal is in the off state until you hit the mode on, and the gimbal is 100% set back up. If you want to adjust the horizon level and you bring this particular way, you hit save. I bring this back to 66, 0.66, and I do my best to get it there. I hit this by a number, and I hit save. Got it. This is the most difficult part for some, manual calibration. Take note of the picture. What it's showing me is you want to take off this particular handle. You want everything off. Follow the picture to the T. What you're going to do is double press the red button. The gimbal is off. You're going to match like for like. You're going to see it's telling you to take the camera, face it to the sky. You're going to see the next one is telling you to point it forward. You're going to see it's telling you to turn the gimbal all the way around. The thumb bolt facing this is the hardest one to do. And then the thumb bolt facing to the sky with the motor. Just like so. And last one, the camera facing towards me, gimbal facing up. And we're completed. Shut your gimbal off, turn your gimbal back on. And we're 100% working. The only thing we're allowed to do with the application until future firmware is available for motion lapse set points that Inkee has not yet come forward with is to basically go into the control. You want to connect your gimbal. And you're able to control your gimbal. Do whatever you want. The one thing that the Inkee Falcon Plus and Inkee Falcon have over the whole hem, this can spin unlimited times. But the Inkee Falcon gimbal cannot do motion lapse that the whole hem can do with set points. One is more of a compact gimbal and the other is not. One will give you a smaller tripod, the other not. This is the Inkee Falcon Plus. It accepts the media module. The media module a lot of people love to use. With GoPro today, this gives you a better sound. Now, why would you want a gimbal? One of the main reasons why you would want a gimbal in your arsenal kit is you could get a wider angle, you could still shoot linear plus horizon level and turn image stabilization off and get less crop. You can do any of the field of views and turn image stabilization off and get better, wider shots. So there is a lot you can do with the gimbal, especially at low level lighting. And that is where a gimbal will shine on any camera of a GoPro today. Until a 1-inch sensor is available, then a gimbal may not be needed anymore. So why would people take an Insta360 1RS with a 1-inch sensor and put it to a gimbal? That is all you. I hope this review of an Inkee Falcon Plus will help you decide in the gimbal. Not many will show you the points that this gimbal can do in setting up. I basically showed you straight to the point for my channel for you users of the Inkee Falcon gimbal. It is an excellent gimbal indeed, and I hope you stood through the whole video and enjoyed it and learned something new about a gimbal. I like the gimbal. I am going to go out and use the gimbal. I'm going to enjoy the gimbal. This is an unboxing first impressions. I'm very impressed indeed. If I had to do it all over again, it would not be with my GoPro. I hope you enjoy your Falcon Plus. It is an inexpensive gimbal, and I hope you have fun with yours. We have sample shots, which I'm doing right now, and I set my camera with the stabilization off, and I'm on, I believe, wide. And yeah, how am I doing with the gimbal? Now I can adjust it down a little. I could adjust it up, and I could adjust it any old way. So let's move on and have some fun. The media module, that's what's on with Rode Wireless Go. I'm using the joystick to get onto me to give you a shot, and I like to adjust my gimbal joystick the way I want. I'm not going to make this a long vlog, but you get the idea how this product works. With the gimbal, you're going to run into some problems, and it all depends on how you use it and what you did to cause it. And it's not Inkee or GoPro's fault, it's a user-friendly fault. So be careful with what you do. I feel the gimbal, I feel some of the motor working, and it may need to be going from in the actual application, raising up the motor to high. One of the things I don't like about the gimbal is that I can't control it with the application and shooting with the GoPro remotely. If you turn on the gimbal, you have to set up the application sometimes, and it failed to work with me. Well, here I am in a beautiful shot with the gimbal wanted to just follow me and track me via the app, and it becomes very difficult. Otherwise, the gimbal works beautiful. It does its job, it has a little strain, and it does need improvement. Hey, 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 what do you say? I'm Fish, and thank you for joining.